This guy has been in the news way too much lately for reasons we wish didn't happen. We all know what happened back in October with the broken pipe and the flood. And Mike just showed me a video of the actual flooding that was going on at Serve Wenatchee's headquarters on Arundel. Mike Malmin is the Chief Hope Officer of Serve Wenatchee Valley. You found a new home, and I got your newsletter a couple of days ago, Mike. I am not surprised at what happened afterwards with the community. I don't think you were either. I figured people are going to pull together. They're going to help your organization. Yeah. They're going to donate time. They're going to donate labor. They're going to donate money. They're going to do whatever it is to keep your operation up and running. But this is more than I was expecting. Even I can't imagine what you were listening.
I wanted to talk about that this morning, and you say in a sense I was not surprised. I thought there would be a response to get us back up and running, but the scope, the size of the response has been far larger than anything I imagined. We are up and running. One of the things, with the government shutdown and with the SNAP uncertainty, the food stamp uncertainty, we were. When we reopened and decided we were even, because of the wellspring of support and because of the need in our community, we would increase our food distribution. So we've actually, since our restart at the new location, increased the amount of food a client can receive by 25%. So that's pretty significant for a family. It really adds up.
And you have a little bit more elbow room than you did.
The market's actually smaller.
The market's smaller, yeah.
But everything else is a little bit bigger. It's a great location for us. The United Methodist Church Pacific Northwest Conference has been so gracious to us getting in that space. But we're constant, because it's a little smaller, we're sort of restocking in real time all the time. We've got another big room that we keep food backed up in and then get it out on the shelves as quickly as possible.
You lost your refrigeration units, you lost your freezer units, those big commercial things that took up an entire wall.
Correct.
What's up with that? Is that they're unsalvageable? So.
They are unsalvageable, and so our insurance will pay to replace that. We really haven't submitted much with the claim yet. It's been mostly getting up and running because, with the lighthouse shut down, with the Wenatchee Rescue Mission reducing its box program, and then us being shut down, it created a real vacuum. And so job one for us was to get back up and running
as soon as possible.
As soon as possible, and we were so grateful that we were able to get up and running as quickly as we did.
And your clients and your patrons are finding your new location without any problem at all?
Yeah, they are, and it's been full. We seem, since we've reopened, to be booked a little further out, so people are getting in line earlier. I will say this, when I announced that we were reopening and said we'd be opening a week, we had people starting to show up a week out, and we said get online and book a time and meet with our people. And so the need right now seems to be high. It normally is this time of year. I was in the market yesterday, and it's just interesting to look at our clients and hear their stories and whatnot. But there are some costs that are up right now, and it's impacting all of us. But for those at the lower end of the wage scale, it impacts them at a much higher level.
You have a board of directors that you are answerable to. Kudos to them.
Yeah,
they've come through.
They have been fantastic support for me during this time. They've been resourceful. They have been finding ways to get us up and running. It's nice to have a group of leaders that clearly understand your mission, clearly understand the importance of it, and did whatever they could to get us back up and running, and gave staff the freedom to be creative and think a little bit in new and different ways so that we could get up and running quickly.
Thursday is Thanksgiving. For a long, long time, they just used to make dinner and serve a Thanksgiving dinner to those people who wanted a Thanksgiving dinner. No questions asked. They switched it over to baskets of blessings 15 years ago, maybe.
Probably,
now?
Yeah.
Right around there, which has actually turned out to be a much better idea. And it's that time of the year again. Thanksgiving is Thursday. Give us an update on baskets of blessings.
Yeah, it's a great, one of the reasons we can serve a lot more people through the baskets program than we could by doing a community meal. We do 500 Thanksgiving meals that could feed 5 or 6 people easily. And so you multiply that out, and we're impacting thousands of people with these baskets that we will be giving away next Tuesday. I will tell you that this year, this is a pre-registration event. We reach out to our clients, folks that we know are struggling, to fill it up first, and we allow people to sign up after that. I will tell you, we filled it up in a day. It was rapid response when registration opened. And so the need is really there right now. Fundraising has been great. I received an email this morning saying we had exceeded our goal, so anything that comes in over the goal will go directly into our market to buy food for clients moving forward. And we've had, partially because of the flood, our volunteers sign up was quick, full, spectacular, and so we're raring to go. One of the things I guess maybe I'm most proud about is my staff, and that with the exception of having our food bank curtailed for a couple of weeks, everything went on full speed ahead. We expanded food service. We were able to do Coats for Kids, in October, as we normally would. We've got Baskets of Blessing coming up, and then the Glory of Christmas gift giveaway for children and teens, a few weeks after that. And so it speaks to the resiliency of the organization that was caused by the efforts of this community. And so it's fantastic to see neighbors helping neighbors. We are, Dan, we're all local, and our funds are all local, and our clients are all local, and our donors are all local, our businesses, our churches. These are people that are deeply tied to the Valley, and the fact that people stepped up to help in such a significant way is just, it makes my heart, I just burst.
Is there someplace in the Bible where we can talk about something that you guys had something really bad happen to you, and yet you're not only emerging bigger and stronger than ever, but now more people than ever know about the mission of Serve Wenatchee Valley because something bad happened?
Well, yeah,
it's
funny. There's a story of Joseph in the Old Testament, and he's sold into slavery by his brothers. He gets elevated into the king's household. He sets aside food for famine. He reunites with his brothers, and after being sold into slavery and beaten, falsely accused of all sorts of things, he feeds a nation, and he says, what the devil intended for evil, God used for good, and that's what happened here. There was it wasn't evil necessarily, but it was catastrophic, and it could have wiped out a thing, but instead it caused people to rally around us. It helped us to get a lot of food in the market very quickly. Our food that was in the market at the time of the flood, basically we were able to salvage cans on the top shelf, but everything in our market was destroyed. It was just, it's interesting to see how bad things can cause good things. And that's exactly what happened here.
Well, to that end, are you and your board and your leadership kind of thinking, okay, what is the future of Serve Wenatchee Valley? Let's talk about our organization maybe 2 or 5 years down the road. The need will always be there. Mm-hmm. Is that kind of started that process?
Well, we were already discussing it. In some ways, it's sort of expedited it. We had been in conversations about how do we, because of our limited space, how do we get more food into clients' hands? Because certainly what we were doing provides food for them maybe for a week or two, but it's not probably enough for a lot of our people. And with a couple of the other significant food banks in town shutting down, this really kind of opened up a conversation of what is our role, how can we expand that role? And so expanding our food service is really a priority for us. It's largely dependent on the space we have available, so we're trying to think creatively how we can use existing spaces, what we can do with warehousing, that kind of things. And I've got a couple people in the community working on this for me right now, trying to figure out how we can creatively, with the resources we currently have, do more to help people that are struggling.
We need to give a shout out to a bunch of folks for the baskets of blessings. It was a basic $49 cash donation to your organization provided the complete Thanksgiving
Correct.
meal, and there's a reason that you can buy that much food for just $49. There's a reason for that, Mike.
Well, yeah. I mean, we have some sources that really work with us. The Wenatchee Avenue Grocery Outlet, Kevin and Tanya, Richmond. They go over and above for us, so we get the best deal on prices. We're buying in massive bulk. If you haven't seen 400 turkeys and 200 chickens in one location, it's an impressive thing.
As opposed to just 2 turkeys in this studio.
Yeah.
Ta-da. Yeah, thank you very much. Holiday season begins next week on Thursday with Thanksgiving, and then you hop into another significant events coming into December.
Yeah, it's we partner with the North Central Washington Toy Drive and Les Schwab. We're one of their distribution points for gifts for children and teens, and that will take place in December on the 16th at the Nazarene Church. That's a big one for us. I think I looked yesterday. I think we're planning for about 300 gifts for about 300 children. What I like about that event is that it's not an event where the children show up and pick out a toy. It's an event where mom and dad come and pick out a toy and then get to give it to their child on Christmas morning. And, one of our core values is dignity. And the thought of a parent that's struggling a little bit financially getting to give a brand new gift to their kids or gifts to their kids, what it does to those children and their relationship with their parents is significant. And so that's one I really love.
Have you had a chance personally to take a break? I mean, ever since this flood, it has been over a month now since you had your little accident, for lack of a better term. Mike Malmin, personally, are you saying I really need to maybe take a couple of days off because?
Yeah. Yeah, that'll probably happen in January. I did have, last weekend I had 2 days off back to back, which is the first time that's happened since September. And it's a season, and I recognize it's a season. I've been working hard to try to carve, in again, biblical terms, a Sabbath, a day of rest. And I've done pretty good at that. But it's been a lot of long hours, but they've been very gratifying hours because of how our staff, my operations manager, Shelley Mond, how all these folks have worked together to get us back going. It's been a delight.
Got about a minute left, Mike. Anything else you want to touch on?
Yeah, let's talk about
how do people help you out?
Yeah, Christmas Campaign for Hope.
Please.
People don't realize that, December is typically for nonprofits the biggest giving month. We rely on Christmas time donations to carry us through the first several months of the new year, because that's when giving tends to be down. So we really need people to consider partnering with us on our Christmas Campaign for Hope. They can go to servewenatchee.org, click on Campaign for Hope, and make a contribution there if they feel led.
And a lot of your patrons are seasonal workers through no fault of their own. They still live in the Wenatchee Valley over the winter months, but they're not drawing a paycheck, or at least not a paycheck.
Yeah, and even some of the drawing a paycheck are. I was in a market yesterday.
Right.
We had a housekeeper dressed in her housekeeping uniform from one of our area hotels. She's working full time. I talked to her. It just doesn't make ends meet in the valley because housing costs are West Side costs now.